more about life in the time of the coronavirus epidemic. If you stop to think about it, serenity, courage, wisdom, it's a lot to ask. Samuel Pepys here, in the year 0 CE, reporting on life in the coronavirus epidemic, COVID-19, the Joker. Strange times, as anyone would say. I heard some people talking about living in Vancouver or Seattle, and they agreed that they could not do it, simply because they could not get out. And after a while, this not being able to get out becomes overwhelming, and the gloominess moves inside, grows internal. And living with this virus, I think it's like that. People get lonely and gloomy and depressed. Corona crazy is not a joke. It's a medical condition. And this is not a few isolated cases. This is true for a great many people. It is a serious malady. Some people cope with it, some overcome it, but many people are shackled by it. It smothers them, makes them very anxious all the time. By the way, the people talking about this agreed that a thing you could try to do is try to shift the focus to the positive. That's helpful. Now, in the case, say, of Vancouver, there is nothing they can do about the weather, so you either have to move or get used to it, find a way to enjoy it. Don't see it as gloomy. Listen to the sound of the rain, maybe, like singing in the rain. They weren't just talking about the weather, I might add. They were talking about overcoming depression and suicide, and I have heard, only heard, that suicide numbers have risen sharply during this epidemic. The Joker again. I saw a video on the writing of the show The Wire. It was written by a former cop, a former reporter, a former playwright, like that. And one of those people said this: The Wire made the argument from the first season that the modern world is becoming increasingly indifferent to individual catharsis and individual dignity, and human beings are worth less. That is a very strong and powerful statement, and I think it's true, especially in a crisis like this one. And I think I also have to repeat this, that in a situation like this, inequalities manifest themselves exponentially. A writer of the show also said he based his work on Greek drama, in which fated and doomed protagonists are confronted by a system that is indifferent to their heroism, to their individuality, and to their morals. The systems today are not gods throwing thunderbolts, but schools, police, the drug culture, and capitalism. The field mouse has moved on, again. He is nothing but active. He talked about expanding the testing in the state, how important that was. And he referred to a task force studying the possibility of opening up the county fairs and the state fair. On and on. He's inexhaustible. He's a permanent fixture. He's not going to go away or release any measure of his control over our lives. He's killing us with kindness. He too, however innocently, does his part to destroy individual catharsis and individual dignity. How strange that the person who is taking this away from us believes with all his heart that he is saving us. That is taking irony to a very far extreme. He is taking away our freedom. He is also spreading fear and causing people to go corona crazy, and that can deepen and become a hole that is inescapable, except by suicide. He needs us to be helpless, to require his steady guidance. This whole thing is like a very complicated mental illness, what everyone calls strange. I think I'm going to need a huge dose of serenity in order to get through this. Nothing less will suffice. There is, however, one thing that I don't have to worry about. And that is young people listening to this and thinking that I am some kind of senile old gopher. I can tell when we upload each video that no one is watching any of them, so that's not going to be an issue. Vox clams. However, it is clear that many people, millions, are making videos specifically to entertain those who are sheltering in place and maybe going a little corona crazy. They get lots of viewers, millions. One cooking video noted these directions on a soup packet. When confused, take the hardest path, or relax and have a serving of this. We should bring back fortune cookies, the fortunes that used to be on tea bags. Fate, free will, the Joker, the field mouse.